Why you are doing that? I just want you to keep some rules in this classroom and also in your professional programming experience, right? So naming and styling. So naming is quite important for the other programmers like TA or me to understand your program, right? And one of the most frequently used technique is the camel casing. Camel casing looks like this, right? Important words. The first letter of the important words are capitalized. For instance, here, hello world. The hello is one important word and word is one important word, right? So H and W, the first letter of each words are capitalized, okay? And then they are concatenated. Concatenated means that we already covered, right? Concatenation means that we are just linking two vectors, right? So we are linking, right? So this makes the hello world the naming convention that I can see here, right? Similarly, but this rules applies to the class naming clearly, right here. My first class here, my first class are three important words here. And variable name, for instance, variable name, I would like to emphasize that you have to start with the lowercase, not lowercase. So we identified three important words: number of students. Here, the second and third words, the first letter of the second and third words are capitalized, like this O and S, but this N is in the lowercase, right? Similarly, student, right? This S is capitalized and starts with the lowercase. That's for the variable name. So class name and variable name can be distinguished, right? But at the same time, also we can distinguish which are the main concepts of this variable or class. Same method here. Method, function, perform, average, right? They start with the lowercase, and for the second, third, and fourth, fifth important words are the first letters are capitalized, right? One thing different is the verb, right? Methods are the actions, dynamic are something that should be executed. Variables are the meanings, something are stored, like the meaning something, right? Entities. So variable names usually start with nouns and method names usually start with verbs, okay? Then, indentation. After the naming, indentation is another important aspect of this styling. So, indentation means that this indent, right? Indentation. And these are specifically done by the four letters. Four spaces, right? Shall we check? So, right? Can you see that this T is aligned with A, right? Means the FUNC, the first one, indicates the blank, right? So this four space per each label, each label means for every class, definition, and blocks, such as methods and functions. Definitions. These are all important labels to distinguish, so we use indentation. If I don't use indentation, if I don't use naming, what happens to me? Nothing happens at the MATLAB level, but at the human level, your colleagues, your TA, your professor wouldn't understand your program well, particularly if your code is wrong. Then, of course, you have to follow these rules, right? Similarly, you have to add some comments, right? So if you want to use the single line comment, you can just use the percent mark here. The %T, %E, %S, %T. Means that these are just for notes. Notes for human. Not a notes, not a comment for MATLAB, right? So this is how to explain your course to others. How to note your ideas, right? Writing comments is critical for TA, for your friends, and for yourself, right? There are also different types of commands. For instance, this is a block comment. So if there are some words, strings, notes in between these two marks, then these are kind of ignored for the execution. Of course, it's not going to be ignored by human being, right? So naming, styling, comments. These three things are the important things for you to work with well, right? Okay, so more on the MATLAB programming. So we have this affine function, right? And we have these variables, but this is interesting variable, right? And this is kind of interesting. This is kind of interesting, right? And we are using some functions here, right? Let's see what are these. So first, in MATLAB, you can define it in you can define values in decimal or octal or hexadecimal. For instance, this is the hexadecimal, right? Of course, it's very rare and it's not going to be used in our classroom hexadecimal or octal, but, right? So someday you might want to use some of these schemes, so I'm just noting this. And to convert hexadecimal to decimal or decimal to hexadecimal, you can use these types of functions, right? And see the naming style, right? We kept the first important word lowercase and the second, third, first lower, second, third, we capitalized, right? The first letter. And this complex 3,4 or 4 plus 3i, these are complex numbers, right? In Korean 복소수, right? So these 3 and these 4 are real parts, real numbers. These are real and real portion of this complex value, right? And this 4 and 3i, these are the what? Imaginary portion of the complex value, right? And real imaginary, right? So we can see that how we can distinguish, how can play around these things, right? And we can see the absolute value. What's the absolute value of complex 2? Is 5, right? Why is that? 3 squared plus 4 squared and root. This is 5, right? Right. So the real value part is what? 4, right? The imaginary part is 3. All right. It was simple, right? And then, yeah, we already have seen how to specify string values and how to assign the string values to the string variables, right? Like this. String values use a single quotation to specify the range of the string values, right? Industrial and Systems Engineering KAIST. And here, what we are doing is string, this can means string concatenation, right? String concatenation means linking together, right? String concatenation. And which means that the string department name and right next to the string department name, this KAIST will come in. and it will print like this, right? So print function here %s. Previously %.3f means the showing the real number with precision level 3, and here %s specifies printing out string. Okay, simple, very simple than before, right? So printing out this string department name right here and string whole name, which concatenation result comes right here, right? Okay, so very simple, very easy, right?